What if the world was flat? Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of the ocean, and as far as you can see, the Earth stretches out flat before you. No curvature, no horizon, just an endless plain. What if everything we've known about our planet was wrong, and the Earth was actually flat? How would the world change, and what would life be like? The science of a flat Earth. To begin with, let's take a quick look at what we know about the Earth as it is today. The Earth is an oblate spheroid, which means it's slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. This is due to the way the Earth spins on its axis, creating centrifugal force. Gravity and the round Earth. Gravity, the force that pulls things toward the center of the Earth, plays a big part in shaping our planet into a sphere. On a spherical Earth, gravity pulls everything toward the center, which is why we stay grounded. On a flat Earth, gravity would behave very differently. Now, let's imagine the world as a flat disk. How would this change the basic rules of science, and how would it impact our daily lives? How would gravity work on a flat Earth? On a flat Earth, gravity would need to work very differently to pull everything toward the center of the disk. Here's why this is a big issue. Uneven gravity. On a flat Earth, gravity would pull everything toward the center, meaning the force of gravity would be stronger in the middle and weaker the farther you moved toward the edge. This could lead to strange effects, like people feeling lighter as they walked away from the center of the Earth. In the extreme, near the edge, people and objects might start floating or being pushed away from the surface entirely. Lack of atmosphere. Gravity also keeps the Earth's atmosphere in place. On a flat Earth, with gravity working differently, it would be hard to maintain a stable atmosphere. The air might leak off into space, leaving Earth without the breathable air we rely on. What about day and night? One of the most fascinating things about a flat Earth scenario would be how we experience day and night. The sun's path. On a round Earth, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west because the Earth is rotating. But on a flat Earth, the sun would need to move differently. In some flat Earth models, the sun is thought to move in a circular path above the disk, creating the illusion of day and night. Constant daylight or darkness at the edges. If the sun was moving in a circle above the Earth, people living near the edges of the flat disk might experience extremely long days or nights. Those at the center might see more regular sunrises and sunsets, but at the edges, daylight might last for days or weeks, and night could stretch just as long. How would the seasons work on a flat Earth? Seasons on a round Earth are caused by the tilt of the planet's axis as it orbits the sun. But on a flat Earth, there would be no tilt, meaning no seasons as we know them. If the Earth were flat and the sun moved in a circle above it, the concept of seasons would likely change. You wouldn't experience the gradual shifts between spring, summer, fall, and winter. Instead, the temperature might vary greatly depending on how far you are from the center of the disk or the sun's path. Unpredictable weather. Without the consistent tilt and orbit, weather patterns could be completely unpredictable. Regions near the center might experience one type of climate, while those near the edges could face extreme variations. What about navigation and travel? In a flat world, the way we navigate would need a complete overhaul. Flat maps. If the world were flat, maps would look much different. There wouldn't be any need for globe-like representations of the Earth, and navigation could become simpler in some ways. But distances would be harder to calculate, especially near the edges, where the rules of geography and gravity would behave differently. Travel across the edges. Traveling across the edges of a flat Earth might involve strange, unpredictable outcomes. The closer you got to the edge of the disk, the weaker gravity would become, making travel difficult and dangerous. It might even be impossible to reach the very edge without falling off. Air travel. Airplanes today rely on Earth's curvature and gravity for smooth travel. On a flat Earth, pilots would have to navigate differently, and the physics of flight would change. Long-distance travel might be harder and more dangerous, and there could be areas of the flat Earth that are completely unreachable. How would the ecosystem and life be affected? In a flat Earth, ecosystems would be drastically different from what we know now. Earth's shape and habitats. The way ecosystems are distributed across the globe today relies on a round Earth with its varied climates, ocean currents, and atmospheric conditions. On a flat Earth, climate zones might be less predictable, affecting where plants and animals can live. Some areas could become inhospitable due to extreme temperatures, while others could become overrun with life that thrives in constant daylight. Ocean currents and weather systems. On a round Earth, ocean currents and weather systems are driven by the rotation of the planet and the distribution of heat across its surface. On a flat Earth, these currents would behave differently, which could have a huge impact on the global climate and ecosystems. We might see extreme weather patterns that we can't predict. How would our view of the universe change? If the Earth were flat, our understanding of the universe would also change. We would have to reimagine everything. The Earth's place in the universe. A flat Earth would contradict everything we know about astronomy and the universe. We wouldn't see planets as spherical, and stars wouldn't work the way we understand them. Our view of the solar system would be completely different, and it might be hard to reconcile flat Earth beliefs with modern science. Space exploration. Space travel would also be incredibly different. Space agencies like NASA and SpaceX would have to adapt their entire understanding of physics, travel, and even the idea of a space frontier. If the Earth were flat, it's unclear whether space exploration could even occur, or if it would look drastically different. The social and philosophical impact. If the world were flat, society's worldview and our philosophical perspectives might change drastically. Shifting beliefs. If it were proven that the Earth was flat, people's belief systems about the planet, science, and the universe would be shaken to their core. It would change our understanding of nature, human existence, and how we relate to the universe around us. Questioning authority. Governments and scientific organizations have long taught the world that the Earth is round. If people started questioning this fundamental truth, it could lead to distrust in other areas of science and authority, potentially shaking society to its foundations. Conclusion. A world unlike any other. A flat Earth would be a world completely different from the one we know today. From how gravity works to the way we experience day and night, everything would be fundamentally altered. Navigating and traveling would become more difficult, and our ecosystems and climate systems would be unpredictable. The Earth's place in the universe would be questioned, and society itself would have to redefine its understanding of the planet and our place in it. So, what do you think? If the Earth were flat, how would you expect life to change? Let us know your thoughts on this fascinating what-if scenario.